So today we'll start with curves topic. Okay, so we'll start with Hermite curve. So there will be some question on Hermite and Bezier curve. Okay, so first we'll starting with the Hermite curve. So we have a detailed numerical on Hermite curve. Okay, so first of all, what are the data required for to get the Hermite curve? So first is the coordinates of two endpoints that I should be aware of. Secondly, slope, or I could say tangent vector at two ends. So if this four data is available, I can draw the curve. So how many data I have? Data is equal to 4. So therefore we can get max third order polynomial. Okay, so now this topic is very important. In FEM we have seen y equal to mx plus c. Okay, and from that we have also derived x equal to n1 x1 plus n2 x2, and of course n1 and n2 value you are aware of. Then in case of quadratic equation, we have also taken a small topic, but that we are going to also redo this topic, and we have also found out n1 x1 plus n2 x2 plus n3 x3. Remember, in FEM we used to call shape function or weight function or just simply a weight, and in CAD we call this as a blending function. Okay, so here we are dealing with third order polynomial. Okay, so therefore in FEM the shape function will be covered itself here. Okay, so we'll not be taking a shape function topic for third order polynomial in FEM, and we will directly jump to the its application. Okay, so I already told you ki 40% it's pretty similar what we are going to do in FEM and CAD. Okay, so even more than 40%. So now third order polynomial I am going to get, and therefore, so what is the equation of now my Hermite curve is P of u equal to summation of I equal to 0 to 3, because max third order polynomial, C of I, and u u raised to power I. Okay, so this is what is going to be the equation, okay, where u is the parameter. So now we have studied what is parametric equation, and we are going to use all that stuff. We have also studied advantages and disadvantages of parametric equation, because here dy by dx is never going to be infinity, so that we cannot take it into account. So that is not going to happen here in this case. So we have actually delta x, delta y, and delta z. So these are the three slope parameters what we are going to get. Their value will always be either 0 or maybe some maximum value, but it will never be a infinity. So it will be having a finite value, and that's what advantage what we get in parametric equation. Okay, so how do I write this? So I could say P of u is equal to, I write C3 u cube plus C2 u square plus C1 u and finally C0. So this is what is my equation of this. One represents equation of Hermite curve. Okay, now there are 4 unknowns. Those are C3, C2, C1 and C0. So to find this, 4 data points are required. Okay, and now what we have in case of Hermite curve, we know the coordinates of start point, we know the coordinates of end point, okay, and at the same time we know tangent vector at start point and we know tangent vector at the end point. So these are the 4 data availables, and with the help of this I can find out the equation of Hermite curve. So just let me know whether you understood this or not. So just let me know whether you understood this or not. Okay, so we'll start to derive the equation. Okay, so what we do, we'll try to write down the first how the curve is going to look like. Okay, so now let's say, so I know this first point. Okay, so I call this as a P0, and let's say I know the second point and I call this as a P1. Now let's consider this is my tangent vector, that is P0 dash, and let's say maybe this may be my tangent vector P1 dash at this location. So my curve is going to be like this. Okay, so this is what is my Hermite curve basically. Now let's take another example. I have a one point here P0, and let's say this is my tangent vector P0 dash, and then maybe I have another point here, I call this as a P1, and let's consider this to be a tangent vector P1 dash. So my Hermite curve would be like this. Okay, so this will be my Hermite curve. So it will always follow the tangents. So let's consider one more example. This is P0, and let us say I have the tangent vector P0 dash. Okay, and let us say this is another point P1, and maybe let us say this is the tangent vector P1 dash. So here in this case my curve would be like this. Okay, so I hope you are getting how my Hermite curve is going to go like this. Okay, so this is how my Hermite curve is going to go like this. So if you want to take a snapshot, or you can take, okay, or if you want to draw it, draw it. So I just wait for some 20 seconds for you. So this is very important, that if some theory is asked, so you can write down this derivation and something like this, or if you the numerical, of course we are going to solve the numerical. So generally a numerical question is expected on Hermite or maybe the Bezier, and theory question might expect on B-spline and nerves. So B-spline and nerves are little difficult to digest for you because the fundamental base is not covered. Okay, so we want to make sure that this topic is we are taking care, so that we are in a position to solve one question completely. So somebody has to say start, so I'll begin. Okay, if you have done, so somebody has to start, say start in group chat, so I'll begin. Okay, so this file is getting very large, so I need to find a solution for this. Okay, so I just go into the maybe a new page, so where I can begin the stuff. Okay, so what I see, P of u is equal to C3 u cube plus C2 u square plus C1 u plus C0. Okay, so now C's are the unknown constant, so I can write this in terms of matrix form as U matrix into C matrix, where U matrix is u cube, u square, u and 1, and whereas my C matrix will be C3, C2, C1, C0 transpose. Okay, so I am writing in a one line, so it is actually a column matrix. Okay, so I am writing in this way. Now we are very well aware of u varies between 0 to 1. Okay, so 0 represents my start point and 1 represents my end point, whereas in case of FEA, So I use parameter called as xi, which varies from -1 to 1. So that's the only change, but the shape function what we are going to get. So already I have already told you that in FEA we call this a shape function or weight function, and in CAD we call this as a blending function. So we'll be studying a cubic order polynomial today. Okay, so therefore cubic order polynomial I'm not going to take care in case of FEM. So directly we'll be going through the application. So I'll just tell you how I'm going to use that one. So let us consider there is a beam which is fixed support. Okay, and I am applying a load. So I draw it again. Okay, so there is a beam having a fixed support at both the ends, and I apply load. So displacement of this is going to be like this. Okay, so what we are aware of, displacement at location 1 denoted by q1 is equal to 0, and I am also aware of dq by dx, which will be equal to 0 at second location. So this is, I could say, x equal to 0 and x equal to L. Okay, I am going to have q2 equal to 0, and at the same time dq by dx at x equal to 1 is also 0. So I am aware of both start point, okay, and the slope at the end point. So whatever this curve is represent is a cubic curve. Okay, and therefore sometimes you see it is also referred as cubic spline. So if Hermite word is missing, you can also call it as cubic spline, or you could also refer as Hermite cubic spline. Okay, so these are the things what we have to take care of this. Okay, so we'll be using a term called as cubic spline in case of FEM. And now the shape function we are going to derive, and the same shape function we are going to use in FEM. So in CAD we call this as a blending function. Okay, so now we have to find what you say a tangent vector. Okay, so tangent vector will be p dash of u. So this is my equation 1 which I derive. So I am going to differentiate that. Okay, so by differentiating I could get C3 3u square plus C2 2u plus C1. Okay, this is my equation number 2. I could also differentiate this equation also. P of u is equal to summation of I equal to 0 to 3 Ci u raised to power I. So I could also write P dash of u is equal to summation of I equal to 0 to 2 or 1 to 2. I is equal to 1 to 3, sorry, not 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and I could write Ci I and ui raised to power minus 1. This is what is the differentiation, and it means the same. Okay, that's it. That is how I got the now p dash of u, where u varies from 0 to 1. Okay, so now I just write down the meaning of this equation. Okay, so from 1, so I just write down from 1. What is its meaning? So its meaning is x of u is equal to C3x u cube plus c2x u square plus c1x u plus c0x. So this is in terms of x coordinate. So how do I write for y coordinate? Y of u is equal to c3y u cube plus c2y u square plus c1x, so y, so not x, so this is c1y plus c0y. Similarly, z of u is equal to c3z u cube plus c3y u square plus, not c3, c2y z, it is not y, it is z. So I just rewrite this again. So it's very difficult to write looking after the screen, and I am writing at the bottom. So c3 c2z c1zu plus c0z. Okay, this is what I am going to get. So you can take a screenshot and write it and just let me know to begin the stuff again. Okay, so this is very important. So we are trying to cover two topics simultaneously, one from FEO and one from CAD/CAM. Okay, so just let me know if you done. So just say so I can begin ahead. Okay, somebody want to scroll up. So just let me know. Is it fine? Shruti, is it fine or should I scroll up again? Okay, thanks. So similarly, what I do, I will also write from equation 2. Okay, I could write x dash of u is equal to c3x 3 into u square plus c2x 2 into u plus c1x, and I could write y dash of u is equal to c3y into 3 into u square plus c2y 2 into u plus c1y. Similarly, z dash of u I can write as C3Z 3 into U square plus C2Z 2 into U plus C1Z. Okay, so this is from equation 2 and this is from equation 1. So what I am trying to do, I am trying to interpret what is the meaning of equation 1 and what is the meaning of equation 2. So equation of these three lines means the equation of meaning of equation of 1, and the next three lines represent the meaning of equation 2. Okay, so now if we have a p anywhere, okay, so just replace p with x, y and z coordinate, you will get the corresponding what you say equation for that particular parameters, and then once we are aware of, we can go ahead to solve. Okay, so that's fine now. So now what we are aware of, we are aware of p0 and p1. So these are my start and end point coordinates I am aware of. Okay, maybe p0 I can write x, y, z, x0, y0, z0, and p1 I could also write. So I just write this as a x1, y1 and z1. Okay, and then I am aware of slopes at point 1, that is p0 dash, and I am aware of slope at point 2, that is p1 dash. So already we know slopes are now represented as delta x, delta y and delta z. So there is no term which is coming as dy by dx which tends to infinity. That is what we are avoiding in parametric equation. So we can take the help of computers very easily. So instead of dy by dx, we have a delta x, delta y, delta z. So I could call this as the dx, I could call it a dy, and I can call this as a dz. So all the terms I am writing separately without any division, and that represents the tangent vector or slope at point 1 and 0. So from this, okay, so I use the equation 1. Okay, so what I get p0. Okay, so if you watch carefully, this is my equation. Okay, so I get p0 if I put, and of course what is the meaning of this? So this represents u equal to 0, this represents u equal to 1, this represents u equal to 0, this represents u equal to 1. So what should I do? I should put u equal to 0 in this equation. I will get p0. Okay, so p0, if I put u0, this will get 0, this will get 0, this will get 0, and I get only c0, and therefore I can write p0 is equal to c0. Okay, so just let me know whether you understood this or not. p0 equal to c0. Or if questions, you can ask. Okay. Okay, so somebody has a network issue, so I'll just explain it again. So as you know, u equal to 0 represents start point and u equal to 1 represent end point. So if I put value of u0 here in this case, so what I get on left hand side, I get p0, and on right hand side, if I put u0, this all three terms will get cancelled because value of u is 0, so only remains the c0, and that is how I got p0 equal to c0. Okay, just by putting a u equal to 0 in that equation, I get u equal to 0, p0 on the left hand side and c0 on the right hand side. Now I put u equal to 1, so what I am going to get is p1 on the left hand side. Okay, so I will just watch carefully. So I get c3, okay, I get c2, I get c1, and I also get c0. Okay, so I get c3 plus c2 plus c1 plus c0. Okay, now I put u equal to 1. So this was for u equal to 0 and this is for u equal to 1. Now let's go with dash, second equation. Okay, so second equation, u equal to 0. So this term will get cancelled, this term will get cancelled, and only c1 remains. Okay, because u is 0. So I get p dash of 0 is equal to c1. This is what I am going to get from this. Okay, similarly, if I put u equal to 1, so I get c3 3 times c3. Okay, so I am going to get p1 dash 3 times c3 plus 2 times c2. Okay, and I am also going to get plus c1 plus c1. So now this is for u equal to 0, this is for u equal to 1. Okay, so this is how I got now 4 sets of equation. So already we know what is the value of p0, what is the value of c0, because c0, c1, c2, c3 are the unknown constant, and those constant we have to find out. So c0 value I know, which is equal to p0, and c1 value which I am aware of, that is p0 dash. So now what else remains from the remaining two equation? I am not aware of c3 and c2. Okay, so I just write in terms of sets of equation. Okay, so I say p1 is equal to c3 plus c2, and c1 value is p0 dash and c0 is p0. This is now known to me, and I write p1 dash is equal to 3 times c3 plus 2 times c2 plus c1. So c1 I am aware of, that is p0 dash. Okay, so now I could see these are my two equation. Okay, equation 1 and equation 2, and now I need to solve this simultaneously. Okay, so to save the space, what I do, I multiply the first equation by 2 and I just subtract it. Okay, so I get 2p1 is equal to 2c3 plus 2c2 plus 2 times p0 dash plus p0. I have p1 dash is equal to 3 times c3 plus 2 times c2 plus p0 dash, and I do the subtraction operation in between this. Okay, so let's subtract second one. Just a moment. Okay, so let's subtract first equation from the second one. So on left hand side I get P1 dash minus 2P1 is equal to C3, and this will get cancelled, plus P0 dash, okay, minus 2 times P0 dash minus 2 times PO. Okay, so from this I could rearrange. So this is 2P1, okay, and so I'm trying to find out C3 na. Okay, so 2P1, and this becomes, this is 2P0. okay, so I can take that as a common, and then I have P1 dash and P1 dash, so this is P1. So just try to rearrange this, okay, and C3 supposed to be, I supposed to give it 2 P0 minus P1, so C3 P0, this is 2P0, so on this side it go positive, and 2P1 is already there, so this is correct. Then plus I want now dash P0 dash and P1 dash, so P1 dash is already there, and this is P0 dash, so this also become minus 1, so on this side it goes, it becomes plus. So I will get P0 dash plus P1 dash. This is what I am going to get as a C3. Okay, so just let me know whether you have evaluated or this or not, or is it correct. If it is correct, just reply yes, or if something else, just let me know. Fine. So now you could any of the equation, either 1 or 2, and from that you could also find out the value of C2. Okay, so you have to do the task to find the value of C2. And just let me know what is the value of C2. So you can use either of these equation, equation 1 or equation 2. So C3 is known to you, just put down the value of C3 and get the value of C2. Or best way is to do the same operation, multiply the first equation by 3 and subtract it. That is the best solution. Okay, multiply the first equation by 3 and just subtract it. That will also do. जरा लवकर सांगा, सगळ्यांनी करत बसायचं, रजिस्टर घेऊन बसायचं व्यवस्थितपणे. हे परीक्षेत तुम्हाला सोडवायचं आहे. Now, Shruti, you need to check your answer. Anybody else can just let me know. Shinde, yeah, Abhishek Shinde has posted, not the Shruti. So Abhishek, you have to do few correction, I suppose. So there is some eccentricity available in p dash values, so that should not be there. अरे चला लवकर करा, सबस्ट्रॅक्शन करायचं आहे फक्त. Getting the same answer, so now we have to verify. Okay, so let's do it then. So 3, so 3p1 is equal to 3c3 plus, no, c3 we know. Okay, so therefore 3 into 2 times, now we will directly eliminate, na, why we should be okay, we do the subtraction operation. So I have here in this case 3c3 plus 3c2 plus 3 times p0 dash plus p0. Okay, so I'll get p1 dash is equal to 3 times c3 plus 2 times c2 plus p0 dash. Now let's subtract it. So first equation from second, so I get p1 dash minus 3 times p1, then I will get minus c2, okay, plus p0 dash minus 3 times p0 dash, and I'll have minus 3 times p0. Okay, so I need to find out c2. So for that, first we will see the coefficient of p1. Okay, so p1 is here in this case So C2 is minus, so I need to take on this side, and C2 I have to bring on this side. So coefficient of P1 is 3. Okay, that is very clear. And coefficient of P0 dash is also 3. Okay, and it is minus. So therefore I could write 3 into P1 minus P0. Okay, now we'll take the P1 dash. So P1 dash on this side goes is minus. Okay, and then this is minus 2P dash. Okay, so I'm getting a minus 2 P0 dash and minus P1 dash. So this is what I am getting it. Okay, so fine. So let's accept this answer. And we will see. Okay, so I am just getting a little bit different answer, I don't know, but now I have to correct my solution. Okay, okay, fine. So let it be this answer. So now my P of U is equal to, okay, C3 UQ, okay, plus C2 U square plus C1U plus C0. Now C3 I am aware of, so that is 2 into P0 minus P1 plus P0 dash plus P1 dash into UQ. Now C2 is 3 into P1 minus P0 minus 2 into P0 dash minus P1 dash into U square. And what is C1? C1 I already found out, P1 P0 dash. Okay, C1 is P0 dash U. Okay, and C0 is P0. So this is what I got. Now what you have to do, you have to collect the coefficient of P0. So I should write P0 here, okay, and then I'll be having its coefficient somewhere here, plus I'll be writing a P1, and then we'll be collecting a coefficient here. Then I'll be writing a P0 dash, then I'll be collecting the coefficient here, okay, plus I'm writing P1 dash, and then I'll be collecting a coefficient here. So now you have to collect the coefficient of P0, P1, P0 dash and P1 dash. Okay, you can start doing. So you can put one by one. First you can put coefficient of p0, then you can put coefficient of p1, and then you can put coefficient of p0 dash. It बहुत easy है. So here 2 is there and u is there. Okay, so you can write 2u cube. This is what is the first thing. Then here u square. Okay, and this is p0. So minus 3 into u square. And then at the last here only p0 is available, so that is plus 1. Okay, now for p1, so I could find out this is minus 2 u square, u cube, minus 2 u cube, and p1 here in this case 3p and u square. Okay, plus 3u square, and p1 term does not exist anywhere, so this is 3u square. For p0 dash, this is what is the term. Okay, so I have only u cube. p0 dash, so I have 2 minus 2 u square. Now I am writing for minus 2 u square, correct. I am writing for p0 dash, and then I have p0 dash here, so plus u. Now p1 dash, for p1 dash that exists here, so it is into u cube. Okay, and p1 dash exists here, that is minus u square, and p1 dash does not exist anywhere. Okay, so this is what is my polynomial. So I just rewrite it again. Okay, so it will have a better feel now. So p0 2, or rather than all the way up, draw, erase. So rather than that, I just write a coefficient first. So 2u cube minus 3u square plus 1, okay, into P0 plus I write minus 2u cube. चेक करा, माझं चुकलं असू शकतं. Plus 3u square. So that is P1. Then I have u cube minus 2u square plus u, that is my P0 dash, okay, and finally I have u cube minus u square and I have P1 dash, okay. So in FEM this is N1, okay. So this is the weight or blending function, I call this. Only the here u varies from 0 to 1 and there psi varies from minus 1 to 1. So I call this as a weight function or blending function or the shape function. So in this way I have derived the shape function. I call this as N1, N2, N3 and finally this is N4. In this way I can call. Okay, so here the shape function we have derived for the cubic element, and this is what readily we are going to use when we work with the beam problem in case of finite element method. Okay, now that's done. So I could write P of u, okay. So I have u cube, I have u square, I have u and I have 1, okay. So this will be multiplied with transpose matrix. So I just need to write 4 by 4, okay, got the straight line. So 2 minus 3 0 1 from this first, okay. Then from second I got minus 2 3 0 and 0, and from third I got 1 minus 2 1 0. I need to take the transpose of that because it is multiplied by u. So I have 1 minus 1 0 and finally 0. So this middle matrix, it is represented by M and it is called as blending function or blending matrix. Okay, blending function or blending matrix M, this is denoted by M into, okay, I have P0, P1, P0 dash, P1 dash. So in this way I could write P of u, okay. So now similarly you can also find out for P dash of u, okay. So this is a homework assignment for you. I am just going to write directly the equation since already I have, but you have to verify whether this is correct or not. u1, okay. So we have a P of u equation what we derive. Similarly we have P dash of u, see equation 2. From this equation 2 we have to do the same thing what procedure we have followed, and we need to find out the again the in terms of matrix form, okay. So again I will need 4 by 4, okay. So all the cubic term will be absent because it is a differentiation. So I will 6 minus 6 3 3, then I will be having a minus 6 6 minus 4 or yeah minus 2. Okay, so okay, minus 2. You may verify these values later on, but it is minus 2 from my side. 0 0 1 0. Okay, so this is correct. So just I'm not sure of minus 2, you could verify. Okay, into I have P0 P1 P0 dash and P1 dash. So this is my tangent vector. Okay, so if somebody asks me find out the tangent vector, so I can find out in this way. Okay, so that's how I am going to go ahead. Fine. So if this requires, I can do the tangent vector. So presently will not be requiring that. Okay, but of course when we do the lot of curve manipulation, then we do require. So now on the basis of this, we try to solve one problem. So my P0 point, so 10 15 and 20. Okay, this is what is the point. The another point P1 is 40 60 and 50. Okay, and then I have another point vector. So my P0 dash will be 1 1 and 1. So this is my tangent vector at point 1. Similarly I have P1 dash okay at maybe 2 3 4. In examination 2-dimensional problem may appear, not the 3-dimensional. Okay, but still we follow the procedure of 3-dimensional. So if any problem of 3-dimensional appear, you are in a position to solve it. So in case of 2D, one coordinate will be absent, so you will be having a lesser computation. That's the only difference, nothing else. Okay, so let's do it. So x of u is equal to, so now you have the reference. Okay, so I hope you have written this. So either you can take a snapshot or you can write it, just please, and just let me know if this is done. I'll move it again. So just let me know. Okay, so I'll scroll down. Either you can take a snapshot or you write it down. Writing is always better. Okay, you have to let me know, huh? Then I'll move ahead. You can also say wait sir, that is also fine. So I got 2 replies. Okay, so let's assume with 4-5 replies you have done. Okay, so you can write down this also, take a snapshot of this. So I'll write it again. Okay, so u cube, u square, u1. So this is how it is going to be. Okay, and then I will write the blending matrix, which is a 4 by 4. So I'll do my best to draw straight line. Okay, so since I know, I'm just going to write down. Maybe you can scroll up and you can do the stuff. Okay, fine. So this is my blending matrix. Okay, so now I'll be having a x0. x0 is 10. Then I'll be having a x1. x1 is 40. Then I'll be having a x0 dash, which is 1, and then I will be having a x1 dash. x1 dash is 2. Okay, so this is what is the stuff. So let's prepare a table u and x. 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75 and 1. So you have a multiplication program, you can definitely multiply this, and then later on you can use this matrix to multiply that one, so it will be a lot easier for you. So let us say for first your u will be 0, 0, 0, 1, and then you will be having some column matrix. Okay, if you multiply this, and you are going to get the result, and then quickly you can multiply and let me know it. So you have the program for multiplying the this second matrix to the third matrix, so you can use that or do manually. Okay, and keep on letting me know the corresponding x values. There are various methodologies to solve the problem. Okay, if you refer textbook, which already you have got a bad habit of using those things, so they will solve in the shortest possible way. But those formulation cannot be utilized the computational techniques, or we cannot program those methodologies. And in CAD CAM, what you are studying is to how to convert into program. In FEM also. So your solving methodology or solving procedure has to be a computer oriented, and then it will be giving you more marks. So they might provide you some shortcut way, but for which you cannot make a program. So those ways are not acceptable, first of all. Okay, and that is why I am telling you this method, which is in form of matrix, because matrix multiplication could be done using a computer program and we could get a solution. So you are in B, try to refer some good books, reference book now. 3 वर्ष मजा केलेली आहे टेक्स्टबुक वरनं. You can use multiply 4 comma 4 comma 1. Okay, and you can plus these two matrix, and you can call this middle matrix as M and keep it constant. You can also keep 3 matrix will be also same. So once the result is there, then only the U matrix manually you have to multiply. Okay, just let me know what is this matrix. What is this first value? Two into 3 will be constant always. Only the U will be changing. Okay, so Atharva got the answers also. Okay, so minus 57, 86, 110. So I suppose this is the matrix, Shruti. Okay, great. So minus 57, 10. No, minus 57, 86. Okay, then I have 1 and 10. 1 and 10. So for U equal to 0, I am getting 10. Okay, because 0 into 0 and this is 1 into 10, and that is absolutely correct. I should get it because this is 10. Okay, so I should get 10. Now I could put 0.25. So I have a 0.25 cube, 0.25 square, and then I have 0.25 and finally 1. So you can do this multiplication manually. It's a one go thing. Okay, so for 0.25, just let me know the values. सगळ्यांनी सोडवायचा, एकच प्रॉब्लेम घेऊ शकतो मी प्रत्येक टॉपिक वरती. आणि लक्षात ठेवा किती वेळ लागतोय आणि तुमच्याकडे परीक्षेत किती वेळ असतो. So you have to practice very hard. थर्ड इयर सारखे आता छोटे छोटे प्रश्न नाही येणार. चलो 0.25. ओके, आर ही गॉट द आन्सर. चला सगळ्यांनी काढायचं आहे, नुसतं आन्सर कॉपी नाही करायचं आहे. यू टेक एनी क्वेश्चन पेपर, आयदर हर्मिट और बेजियर इज देयर. And problem is that I cannot take more than one problem for one topic. So anybody else has the answer? ROE put the answer. Atharva has also given the answer. Anybody else? Yeah, Shruti has got the answer. चला लवकर, अजून कोणीतरी द्या आन्सर. सौमित्र, श्रीनाथ, प्रतीक, प्रसाद, कुणाल, ऋषिकेश, अमय, ओमकार, श्रेयस. Okay, so it's your choice. 14.73. So I am just putting 2 decimal places. 24.87, 35.07, and this is 40. Okay, so this is how I got the for x of u. Now let's do it for y of u. U cube u square u1. Okay, so 2 minus 2 1 1 minus 3 3 minus 2 minus 1 0 0 1 0 and 1, all zeros. Okay, into y0. So y0 is 15. y1 is 60. y0 dash is 1. y1 dash is 3. Okay, so I prepare u y 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, 1. And this is y, sorry, not x. I have written y and made it x. Okay. So let me know these values. So of course this is going to be 15 and this is going to be 60. So only 3 values you have to get it. Yeah, Atharva has done all the thing. Atharva, you need to check the second value in case of y. Y at 0.25. Again Arohi, you have to check the y at 0.25. Yeah, that's better, Srinath. Anybody else? Okay, Abhishek, you are close, but there is a lot of variation in your answer. Yeah, Atharva, that's correct. Yeah, Samitra, very good. Yeah, Roy. Okay, so everybody is getting answer. Very nice. So I am having a 22.03. I am just writing a 2 decimal places. Remember to keep minimum 4 decimal places. 37.25, and then I could have 52.59. Okay, so now some of you already calculated z of u. Now z of u is homework. Okay, that's it. So if 2 dimension is there, only up to this you have to do it, nothing else. Now more challenging question. Okay, so if you remember last time I told you that there could be 1,000 points, and if I want to draw a curve between 1,000 points, then its order will be 99. Then finding intersection, finding differentiation, I have to solve equation of order of 99 whose polynomial order is 99, and there will be 100 coefficients. So that poses a challenge, and therefore what we do, we use piecewise polynomial. That means from this first curve we construct the equation, then from second 2 points we construct the equation, from third next point we construct the equation, and so on. So what happens, every localized area will be having a separate equations, and if you want to handle it, then I'll be handling only maybe second order equation, maybe cubic equation, or maybe the first order equation. So that's the way if I do it. So that's give me a higher lesser computation time and advantage of faster response, and that is what we are requiring. So here in this case now, what is the challenge, that I am given a p0 point, okay, and p0 is 10, 15, 20. Then I have given p1 point, so I am taking coordinate as it is 40, 60 and 50. But now I have also given a third point p2, whose coordinate is 70, 90, 60. Okay, and I have a tangent vector p0 dash, okay, which is 1 1 1, as already we have taken the same thing, and I have a p2 vector which is 2 3 4. Let's take this. Okay, no issue, no problem. Now what is the challenge? I want to achieve a blending of these two curves. There are two curves basically. So there is a one point p0, the another point p1, and there is a third point p2. So assuming these are the slopes, or these are the direction of the slopes, I would like to establish this curve. Okay, this is what is the challenge. But as you know, this is the one curve, first curve, and its equation we have to calculate. Okay, so you know only cubic Hermite's curve passes through only 2 points, and we should be aware of tangent vector. And this is the second curve, so I have two equation basically. Okay, and at p1 the tangent is unknown, it is not given. Okay, it is unknown, tangent is unknown. So therefore, what is the problem? I cannot find the equation of first curve, neither I can find the equation of second curve unless and until the tangent at p1 I am not aware of. Okay, so now what I am going to do, I am going to say that I want to achieve C2 continuity. Okay, so what do you mean by C2 continuity? चला टाइप करा फटाफट आंसर. What do you mean by C2 continuity? Okay, so curvature continuity, so that is meaning that if I have a two curve from 1 to 2 and I have another point and I draw one more curve for point 2 for radius 1, if I find out the instantaneous center C1, similarly for curve 2 3, for 2 if I found out instantaneous center C2, if they are same or their radius is same, then I say I am achieving a curvature continuity. Okay, so the meaning is that tangent continuity means what? I need to worry about tangent, that is dy by dx. This is my tangent. Curvature means what? d2y by dx square. So this is what I am aware of. So meaning is that at point 1, so point 1 is denoted by one variable, so I call it as P1 dash of curve 0 1 should be equal to P1 dash of curve, not P1 dash, I say P double dash because it is a second order differentiation. P1 double dash of curve 0 1 is equal to P1 double dash of curve 1 to 2. So here I am talking about equation 1 and here I am talking about equation 2. Okay, this is what is the meaning. So just let me know whether you understood this or not. So just let me know whether you understood this or not. Okay, so somebody wants it again. Okay, so curvature continuity means what? Basically the instantaneous center of both the curvature should be same. Okay, so it is likely possible that if this is the curve and if you have another curve something like this, one I just save it first. So I think so I click something which trying to put the large picture on the screen. I don't know what I did. Okay, fine, let it be. So if this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. So if I find the instantaneous for 1 2 curve for point 2, so that will be C1. For 2 3 curve, this will be C2, isn't it? Both the curves are going in a different direction. So meaning of that is, for both the curve at point 2 there are two different instantaneous center, and this is not a good situation. Okay, if you want to achieve the curvature continuity, what the curvature continuity means? That if I have a 1 2 curve whose instantaneous center is C1, so if I have another curve 2 2 3, for 2 to 3 the C1 should be the instantaneous center for the second curve also. If that is the case, that means I am achieving the curvature continuity, okay, or their radii distribution. So meaning is that if I draw the tangent, so tangent will be same because I am achieving the second order continuity, that is C2. If I draw the tangent, so tangent is denoted by dy by dx, and then how this vector? So it's a second differentiation. Okay, so it's a second order differentiation. So what I say, this should be same for curve 1, this should be same for curve 2, then in that case I have achieved the second order continuity or C2 continuity or the curvature continuity. So therefore I am saying P1 double dash at point 1. So I just highlighted P1 double dash. Why? Because I started with P0, P1 and P2 dash, P2. So P1 double dash of curvature 0 to 1, okay, should be equal to P1 double dash of curvature 2. If that is the case, I could say the curvature continuity is achieved according to this formulation. So now just let me know whether you have understood this or not. Yeah, okay. So I just rewrite the again. You have this already with you. P of u equal to, you just can verify 6 u square minus 6 u1 6 u just a moment. Okay, gone. Okay, no problem. Now icon has changed. I don't have an issue. So 6u, so it is p0 plus minus 6u square plus 6u p1 plus 3 times u square minus 4u plus 1, then I have a p0 dash plus, what is that value, 3u square minus 2u into p1 dash. So this is already, we have got it, which we have written. You can scroll up and you can verify this value. So from this I need to find p double dash of u. Okay, so that will be 12u minus 6 p0 plus minus 12u plus 6 p1 plus 6u minus 4 p0 dash plus 6u minus 2 p1 dash. Okay, so this is what I got for first equation. Okay, so this is for the first line, so first curve I say. Okay, for second curve, p double dash okay of u is equal to 12u minus 6 p1 plus minus 12u plus 6 p2 plus 6u minus 4 P1 dash plus 6u minus 2 P2 dash. So this is for my second curve. Okay, two curves. First starts from 0 to 1 and second starts from 1 to 2. So what I want to say, these two has to be equal. This is what is the meaning. Okay, so now you just rearrange it. Okay, and what is the unknown? I don't know P1 dash. See, P0 I know, P1 I know, P0 dash I know. This is what is unknown to me. I don't know. And here in this case, this is also unknown to me. This is known, this is known, this is known. Okay, and this is also known, this is also known. That is given to us. Okay, you could see all the coordinates and tangent slope at first and last point is given to us. So only tangent slope at middle location I am not aware of. Okay, so just lack of time, I am writing this instead of solving this. Is equal to minus 6. You can solve it. Okay, and just also verify it whether whatever I am writing it is correct or not. You can immediately collect the coefficient of P0, coefficient of P1 and coefficient of maybe P2 dash and P0 dash. So minus 2 P0 dash you can find out 6 P2 minus 2 P2 dash. So this is what I am going to get. Okay, so I hope you got this. Just let me know. So I call this maybe equation as 3, something like this. So you have to equate these two equations. Okay, and you will get. So just let me know whether you got this or not. Okay, so from this basically what we want, x dash, y dash, x1 dash, y1 dash and z1 dash. So I could write x1 dash as x1 dash means I want to have this whatever is absent here in this case P1 dash. So I write x1 dash, y1 dash and z1 dash. So this is what I am trying to find out. Okay, so if I know this, then I can get the equation of two different curves. So that is what I am trying to do it. Okay, so x1 dash is equal to 1 by 8 minus 6, x0 is 10, okay, into 10 minus 2 P0 dash is 1, okay, into 1, and then I have a plus 6 into P2. So P2 is 2 because I want x2 minus 2 into P2 dash. Where is P2 dash? Array, this is P2 dash. P2 dash is 2 and P2 is 70. So this has to be 70, and this is 2 into 2, Okay, so just let me know whether you understood this equation. I call this equation as A. So whether you understood A, just let me know. Have you understood equation A? Okay. Then, so if you solve this, so you get minus 183 by 4. Then I'll have y1 dash, so 1 by 8 minus 6, so it is 15. Okay, 6 into 15 minus 2 into p0 dash, p0 dash is 1, plus 6 into y, that is 90. P2 is 90, correct. Okay. Let it be. So 2 into, next is p2 dash, so that is 3. Okay, so if you try to solve this, you get minus 229.4. So similarly, z1 dash you will get minus 115 by 4. You can try out this, whether you are getting this or not. So here p1 dash, okay, p1 is going to get cancelled. So now what is the meaning is that now I know p1, p0, I know p0 dash, I know p1 which was given to you. I have just calculated p1 dash, which is these values 1 2 3. Okay, so if I know all 4 data, I can get the first Hermite curve. Similarly, I know p1, I know p1 dash, I know p2, and I also know p2 dash. Okay, so from this I could get second Hermite curve. Okay, so from these 2 points, so basically I got this curve. Okay, so now we know how to calculate the first equation and second equation separately. So you have to follow 2 different procedure, because you will be having 2 different equations. Okay, in this way you can go ahead. So we'll try to complete this problem in the next lecture. Okay, so now what is the problem? So just time being, just let me know whether you understood this or not.